Out of a really long meeting, you start heading to your car, settling in, and really getting mentally prepared for the ride home. Because you're in Dallas and home is in Austin, and it'll be at least 3.5 hours until you're back. This is the story of Rebecca, one of over 3.5 million supercommuters in the United States, who live in one city and travel to another major city just to work. And Rebecca's fed up. Not only does this eat up days of her week and weeks of her year, she's fatigued by all of the health implications that are directly tied to supercommuting, such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, stress, anxiety, depression. And there just has to be a better way, a better mechanism of transportation. My name is Deborah Navarro, and I'm a co-founder of Texas Guadaloop. We're working with SpaceX to facilitate the next great revolution in transportation by making the Hyperloop a reality. So first, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the evolution of transportation. Then I'm going to go into how the Hyperloop works, who our team is, and then I'm going to close with a bit of the business aspect. So let's flash back to 1927. A time when the Ortiz Prize was to be awarded to the first aviator who flew overseas from New York to Paris. A time when it seemed absolutely ludicrous to fly around what was essentially a tin can in the sky. And a time when the best businessmen and investors alike thought that something like this would never be possible, yet the airline industry is one of the biggest industries in the world. So we're competing in the SpaceX's Hyperloop pod competition. This competition aims to emulate previous innovation prizes that spurred innovation in aviation and in astronautics. So how does a Hyperloop work? So this is it was working a second ago. There we go. So it might take a second to look. So basically what we do, so the Hyperloop, it combines the convenience of a train with the speed of a plane. In this video, you can see that so the pod levitates on a bed of air, which allows it to be transported at speeds of up to 750 miles in a vacuum container. So this would make the supercommuter we followed earlier really happy. She would get from Austin to Dallas in just 20 minutes. So there are two ways in which teams are planning to levitate the pod. One is through magnetic levitation, and the other is through air bearings. So magnetic levitation has been stated to be cost prohibitive and not sustainable for a full-scale system. And this was stated by Elon Musk himself, and he is the founder of SpaceX and the founder of the Hyperloop pod concept. So our main differentiator is that we plan to use air bearings in our Hyperloop pod system. And so air bearings have never been tested at high velocities, which is why we're so excited about this, because we've done a lot of testing already that's displayed that this will work. And we've known about, magnetic levitation since the 70s, and it doesn't exist in the United States today because it's too expensive, it's not sustainable, it takes up too much energy. And the bottom line is it wouldn't exist for the Hyperloop system, wouldn't exist as a magnetic levitation system. So digging a little deeper into this. So how does this really work? So imagine an air hockey table where air is being pumped out of the table and your puck is able to levitate. But instead flip that and imagine the puck levitating off of the table because air is being generated from the puck. So that's a simple way of stating what those 6 red boxes at the base of our pod do. They are hockey pucks or our air bearings. And air is free and doesn't require much energy, which is why this would be very economically efficient. So, as I mentioned earlier, there are over 3.5 million people in the United States who supercommute. And in Texas, like, holds a very large population of people who super commute in the Austin, Dallas, Houston triangle has the largest amount of super commuters in the whole United States, which is a very good market for to be in, and it's really convenient that Texas holds this potential. We want to focus on super commuters who travel from Austin to Dallas, which is a little over 50,000. And this was reported in 2009 from the U.S. Census Bureau, and this number has been growing at a conservative rate of over 7%. So we're a team of 50% MS and PhD students from the University of Texas. What this means is that we've all worked in the labs, we've worked in the industry, and we have the experience to get a project like this done. And we also have an amazing team of sponsors behind us. So we worked this past semester with Josh Bader and Bob Metcalf through Longhorn Startup Seminar, and they helped us so much as we've been transitioning from a research group into a startup. And most importantly, we've been working really closely with Airfloat, and they're a key player because they were found. Airfloat is a air bearings company that was founded by the original inventor of air bearings, and they have worked with us to create a custom tailored air bearing for a pod system that has been working really well. And CEO just flew in this month to talk to us about further partnerships, and they've sponsored all the materials that we've used from them. And we also have a bunch of other sponsors that have been on board from the beginning. So we've currently raised a little over $35,000 so this has completed phase 1 of our process. We've broken this down into 4 phases. We've funded the prototype, which has been the driving force behind our team. So this might seem like something that is really far out, because in a way it is, but at the same time, it's a lot closer to being completed than you would imagine. So currently, there's a 1-mile test track being constructed in Hawthorne, California right now. And the reason why we're building this half-scale prototype is because in August, we plan to transport a pod, which we've already funded and we've begun building at Pickle Labs. And we plan to race our pod on that test track in August. And we've done this in under a year. And currently we imagine being the first team in Texas to build a Hyperloop pod system from Austin to Dallas. This would cost approximately $3.14 billion. We've estimated it through our financials analysis. But we also have so much other applications for our design. So all of the IP we've developed has been in-house, which means that we own all of it, and there's so many other applications to it aside from just being a part of the Hyperloop system. So we plan to license that technology. We could license that technology to other transportation companies, or we could use that technology for existing applications on on transportation that exists today. And one of our biggest aims through SEAL is to actually define that business model, really get it down, because we don't have like a specific product or service that's so black and white. But yeah, thank you so much. And come August, we really want to demonstrate that this isn't some idea just out of science fiction, but it's a reality. Thank you so much.
Any questions?
So you said you have ownership of the IP. Is it still at the university, or is it actually the licensing?
So it's at we're building this. It's all university stuff. And sorry, say that again.
So Guadaloop has been incorporated into a company at this point?
Yes.
So it's taken the license to the years. It still resides at the university?
No, yes.
Okay.
It actually resides just with, solely with us. And
Us being the university?
Yeah. Well, yes. But it's only the students. We've actually done everything outside of the university.
You've done work outside of the university?
So
Except for the IP.
So, right, so is there patent applications at this point, or are there patents?
So I guess the question would be if you own it because you did it as a UT project,
So
or is it something at the side that UT cannot claim ownership?
UT cannot claim. That's what I'm trying to say.
So there's no invention disclosure. It's not anything that would move towards a patent owned by UT that eventually will license.
It would be a patent. There would be a patent, but it wouldn't be owned by UT because this is our own project that we so happen to be university students. We use the only affiliation. UT hasn't helped us and assisted in any way in terms of anything aside from really just we would meet at the engineering building and that's about it.
Do you have a patent application?
Yes.
Filed a patent
Yeah,
application?
we're in the process of that.
Okay, so it hasn't been filed yet,
Mm-hmm.
and who's filing?
2 members of our team.
Independently of the university?
Yeah, it's completely independent. The only affiliation we kind of have recently is that Pickle has given us a space to build our pod, which has been really, useful and helpful for us.
Is Dr. Metcalf helping you with that? Is that part of what his advice was?
He helped us with
The patent IP issue?
a little bit. Yeah, he's been helping us a lot, giving us really good feedback and insight throughout this whole process.
Other questions?
Could you say one more time part of what it is that you're building as opposed to SpaceX? What is
Okay.
what is the layering of it? Or airflow? And airflow too.
So we're building the entire. So what SpaceX is doing basically is they're opening this competition, and they're it's really smart of them. They're crowdsourcing. They're getting all of this work basically, and they get to take and choose the best aspects of different pod designs from every single team that competes, and they haven't explicitly stated what they'll do with that. So every pod design that is out there really is independent of anything SpaceX is building the track. Every other team that's competing in this is building the actual prototype to run on the track. So technically, there's a lot of different subsystems in each pod. You can break it down to like your levitation systems, your electronic systems, how the pod communicates with different subsystems. So all of that is actually your question was that you asked.
And the layering, so you're getting a part of it. What does SpaceX provide and own? What do you provide and own? And what's the air bearings company?
Airflow.
Yeah, what do they provide?
So
2 minutes.
We're working on SpaceX. See, this is the thing about this. It's still kind of iffy. They don't technically own anything that we do yet. They build the track, we build the pod, and if they want to implement some of the aspects of our pod design, they can do so.
You're signing away rights to it, or they can come to you to commercialize?
It's a combination of both. So they can come to us to commercial. Say they like our air bearings, which is our biggest differentiator. That's really what we're betting on. They could use our air bearing system for the Hyperloop as a whole, and they could license that from us. Or
There's not the license.
excuse me.
Isn't that the license?
Yes.
1 minute.
So this could be a really good challenge for the summer. To
Yes.
figure all this out.
Yes.
This is a huge issue on whether or not you're going to have something that's fundable.
Yeah, definitely.
Some of
Good
these
point.
competitions, have you signed over rights?
No, that's
Yeah.
exactly. So that's a hurdle we face, and I was gonna also add to that. I said it was a combination because they do want us to sign over certain types of rights, but we're working with a lawyer right now to really define how that process will go into play. So you're spot on. Thank you both for your feedback.
I think make sure you have a strong legal team because it looks like you're very close to some lines that you're going to cross where people are going to say, hey, this is mine, no, this is mine.
Yeah.
I did this. So make sure you have a strong legal team because this is a lot of people giving you advice and they're going to want something back once it works. So
Yeah, but
Step
both
away.
the SpaceX side as well as the UT side,
Oh,
you
yeah.
gotta be real clean and really understand.
yeah,
Important.
And the
And the
air
airport as well.
Yeah.
Well,
So the air bearing. Oh, sorry.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, it's nice that you have the SpaceX target, but I think one of the other exercises is to figure out where the real market could be, because there's other players besides SpaceX. You may be building it for it because of all these issues. Maybe it's Bechtel, maybe it's one of the other space science companies that aren't doing this publicly to get a lot of publicity, that you could actually take into. I think part of this could be who are the potential acquirers, partners, licensees outside of SpaceX that we should be talking to.
Good point.
That may simplify some of these issues.
And maybe some more conventional uses as well. You're right.
Like a better pneumatic tube system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just making stuff up here.
For Macy's.
For
Or, you know.
For Amazon, there you go.
I mean, our electronic system can be implemented in other, it's planes, trains,
Yeah.
whatever, other types of high-speed rail. There's so many different applications to it.
Thank
Thank
very
you so
much.
much.